As the state of Washington slides into a socialist hellhole, they have a new congressional candidate. She's going to fix everything. Oh wait, I mean the exact opposite. Watch this. Here is someone we should start to become familiar with. This is Rebecca Parson. She's a congressional candidate from Washington's 6th District. She says in her tweet, and this is a tweet that caught my attention today, so I want to make sure that everyone else gets a chance to see it and we can break it down a little bit. So she says there are 28 empty homes for every homeless person in the U.S. Let's occupy them. Now, two things immediately jump out to me. One, why are the homes empty? Is it a foreclosure? Is it a bank sale? Did someone die and they're waiting to pass it off to their family members? And two, why does she think she gets the chance to occupy them? I mean, this is someone else's house. It's not hers. So maybe she has a good reason. Maybe she knows what she's doing. Let's let her. I think this is her official campaign speech. I'm not sure. Let's let it play and we'll see if she's got some good points.
Warning this week that housing prices are becoming unhinged from fundamentals.
The market norm. You feel it. I feel it. We're on the edge of collapse. The corporate elite tell us not to worry, but what has doing what they told us ever gotten us?
Oh, Rage Against the Machine? Good choice.
I did what they told me. I went to college. I got a master's degree. I ended up living in my car.
Whoa, that took a turn. She went to college, she got a master's degree, and she lives in her car? What was her master's degree in? Underwater lesbian poetry? Listen, if you get a master's degree, you should be able to at least pay off your debts and not have to live in your Prius. Alright, my first reaction is she might have made some bad choices here. What did she go to college for?
I did what they told me. Protests, letters, phone calls. Nothing changed. So I stopped doing what they told me.
Yeah, protests, letters. Why don't you get a job? I mean, getting a job is a good way to get money, and you won't have to live in your car. Writing letters and protests. Were you demanding they pay off your student loans? Is that what your letters were about? I need to do a little more research on this lady.
We occupied empty buildings and got 200 shelter beds added in our town. 200 people who didn't freeze to death. Billionaires tell us you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, fuck that. They want you depressed and hopeless. No. You should be angry and hopeful. Imagine I proposed a housing for all bill in Congress. Then imagine you...
Whoa, housing for all? On its face, that's ridiculous. How are you going to demand housing for all? Who's going to build these houses? People working for free? Who's going to provide the electricity? People working for free again, I suppose. Who's going to do the water and the lawn maintenance? And what's going to happen when you need to replace the tiles? And oh, come on. You can't have housing for all. Listen, people work hard to pay for housing. You can't just give it away. What are you talking about?
Me and a million of our friends took action and occupied empty houses nationwide.
Well, there she goes with that empty houses stuff. How does she think she can move into someone else's empty house? What if you have... Okay, let it go.
They couldn't ignore us. No one has ever done anything like this.
Because it's
That's
illegal.
why it's going to work.
Oh,
are you ready?
She found an empty house that has electricity. Oh, good gracious. All right. Whoa. Okay, national rent control, $30 minimum wage, housing for all. Oh my goodness. Lady, you are so delusional. National rent control. Okay. So a guy works his entire life, pays off his house, he raises his family, saves up a little bit of money, then ends up getting a second house. He has now provided a house for rent for the market. Someone decides they like the house, they want to move in, they negotiate terms. He's provided housing for someone else, and you want to step in and tell him how much he can charge for rent? Well, what if it's not enough to cover the bills? You don't know what his bills are. You've got one less house on the market. Guess what? It's a supply and demand issue. If there's less houses available in the market, rent goes up. You've made people in the position worse. You've made people pay more for rent. Congratulations, you failed. $30 minimum wage. Oh my God, same damn thing. Let's make it $100. How about $200? $200 an hour minimum wage. You've never had a job where you've signed the front of a paycheck. I can just tell. You have a master's degree in business, an MBA, and you can't. Oh my God. Okay, calm down. Let's say let's take Starbucks as an example. All right, you want to pay all of the baristas $30 an hour minimum wage. Okay, you've taken the cost of labor in a Starbucks and you've doubled it, maybe tripled it, because there are some places in the South where you get $10 an hour is a good wage because you can live on that. Okay, and also a barista is a starter job. You're not supposed to raise a family and retire being a barista. It's a starter job where you learn how to have basic employment skills. Now you want to make them pay $30 an hour, okay? You've tripled the labor cost for Starbucks. They have to raise prices or they have to fire people. Okay? That's how math works. I know this might be a foreign concept to you, but that's how it goes. So now you've got managers in Starbucks, shift leaders, store managers. Well, now they can't make $30 an hour because they're making the same as Johnny No Skills who just walked into the door. So now they have to get $45 an hour, $50 an hour. What about the regional manager? They have to make, what, $300 an hour? Well, it doesn't make sense if you pay them all the same, because why would you take that responsibility if you could just go, sling some foam on a Americano and make $30 an hour? So, housing for all. Okay, you can't have housing for all. You can't. It doesn't work. There's not enough houses. If you dictate you have to give your house up to make sure housing is for all, you have to build houses. Okay, let's take an example. Housing for all. We've got a very, very small town, and there's 100 people in this town. Okay? 50 people own their own houses. A couple of them have roommates. A couple of them are married. They live with their spouse. A couple of them have kids. You got 10 or 15 people left over that don't have houses. They want their own houses. She's going to guarantee housing for all. If you want a house, you're going to get a house. So these 15 people stand up. I demand my house. Okay. So we're going to get a couple of contractors that the government's going to hire. We're going to build you a house. House costs about $100,000 for an entry-level mid-range house. Okay, $100,000. Let's keep the numbers simple. Now the government has said we guarantee you a house. Well, now they have to start making houses. Okay, so they go to the contractors. We need you to make some houses. Now houses cost about $100,000. Okay, so the contractor says, "Oh no, it's $150,000." And then they go, well, I need to go get a price check. I need to go talk to a couple of other contractors and see if this is a reasonable price. So they go to the second contractor and they're like, no, it's $175,000. And the third contractor says, wait, I have to build a house by law and you have to pay me? Well, it's $175,000. See, the price of housing goes up because the government has already guaranteed that the houses are going to be made. They can't go back on their promises. So now the contractors can charge whatever they want. The government has to pay. You understand how this makes prices go up. It's the same old supply and demand. The government demands housing, but the supply stays the same. So government demands, supply goes up, price goes up. It doesn't work. You need to let the free market do what they do. Now, if you let these contractors work on their own without a government contract that demands and guarantees they're going to build a house, every contractor tries to lower their price as much as possible because the 1, 2, 3 contractors out there are all bidding for the right to make the next house. Now, if contractor 3 says 100 and contractor 2 says, oh, listen, man, I think I can do it for 95. And then the contractor 1 steps up and goes, listen, if I trim and I plan really well and I budget my materials, I might be able to make it for 90. They're competing to build the house. The prices go down. When government gets involved, they are greedy and the prices go up. You see how this works? She doesn't, but everyone else does. Okay? So this is Rebecca Parson. I think her platform is steal houses from people that have worked really hard, give them to homeless people. They may or may not have electricity and running water, so they're going to take a nice house. They're going to burst into it by probably kicking down the front door. They're going to leave their trash everywhere because they don't care. It was a free house. When they're done with this one, they'll go find another one. Maybe they'll take a dump in the corner. They'll pee in the bushes. The landscape's ruined. The locks are ruined. It gets really cold out. Oh my God, they need money. Let's rip out all the walls and take their copper piping. Well, now you've got a house that's worthless. It's unsellable. And now the neighborhood is crashed. But hey, good socialist never wants to... Okay, she's just a socialist. She's just going to ruin your town. She's going to ruin the next town over. When she starts saying, we're going to give you free houses, guess how many homeless people are going to show up for the free houses? Way more than were there before. So now the population of homeless people in her town has increased. You can't sell a house because the government will just take it. If it stays on the market too long without selling, she'll just take it, put homeless people in it. You see how this just collapses into anarchy? It is the worst possible solution for Washington. And the way that people vote in Washington, I kind of almost hope she wins. Good luck. This is toxic chaos and socialism. And anyone who votes for her, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. All right, so here's her pitch. I'm going to be sitting here laughing. She went to college, got an absolutely worthless degree. She probably has a mountain of student loan debt. But her solution is to cut through someone's fence. Property damage. Break into someone's house. Breaking and entering. And just live there. She's a squatter. She just wants to steal someone's house. And that's what socialists do. They always feel entitled to everyone else's work, everyone else's labor, everyone else's property. So, you might have noticed the theme song she had playing in the background the whole time, Rage Against the Machine. Did you happen to notice any credit to the artist? No. She just stole that too. Socialist. So if you like this kind of stuff, just go ahead and give me a quick subscribe. And I promise not to break into your house and live there.